Oh, I guess you could say the Oilers are going to have a devil of a time tonight. Hey, Jay? Guess the Oilers are gonna have to dance with the Devils tonight. Hey, Jay? Yeah. I guess if the Oilers don't play well tonight, there's going to be hell to pay. Hey? Yeah. Oilers Devils tonight at 6:30 at Rogers Place as the Oilers will try to win another one. They got the win last night against the Calgary Flames. Oh, there's more fire metaphors there, too. 4-2 the victory. I guess you could say Leon Draisaitl is red hot with 6 points in his last 2 games. Good goaltending performance by Stuart Skinner. Calvin Pickard expected to go in net this evening. We will talk plenty of Oilers throughout the afternoon. We're with you until 5:30 today. And then at 5:30, we hand the stream over to Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, getting you ready for the Oilers and New Jersey, and then they'll be back for the postgame show after that. Hope you had a great weekend. You can get in touch through the EST inbox. That's texting 780-218-9999. We will have our keyword for the EST Flyway to LA presented by the 780 a bit later on. You will be using the text line to participate in that. And, of course, you can jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at YEG Sports Talk, at Jason Milne, at Reid Wilkins, if you would like to talk about any, if you'd like to interact with us on X or Twitter or whatever it's called. Jay, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing sensational. Lovely weekend. Got to do some cooking. Got to do some hanging out, family time, all of those fun things. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know who had a good weekend was Lieutenant Eric.
He did. He was everywhere.
At the Riders-Lions game. I believe Saskatchewan won. I can't remember who I picked. We're going to have him a little bit
You went
later
0
on.
for 2.
Well, okay. I did, actually. I did say Ottawa was going to score points. I just didn't think they'd allow 58. That's kind of the bad thing. All right. So we're going to talk about Lieutenant Eric because he's going to get us into our off-topic topic. But you said you were cooking this weekend.
Yeah.
So what do we have some photos here of your culinary adventures. If you're watching on YouTube, you can check these out coming up here on the stream.
Well, my wife went to that big Costco over on the West End. It's the for like if you own a restaurant, you go to this Costco.
Oh, wow.
And we've never had a tomahawk. Everybody's heard of these tomahawks, but they're not easy to just go to your grocery store and buy. So she found this bad boy, and it made my weekend. Turned it into a bit of a project, and that thing turned out, oh my gosh. So that fed 7 people.
So how large is that steak again? Or that cut of meat?
I don't know the weight of it, Reid.
Is it called a tomahawk steak?
Yeah, so what it is it's actually a ribeye is the cut.
Okay.
Which to me is the creme de la creme of steaks.
I would agree with that, yes.
I just love it. It's got some marbling in it, and as you can see, that was a rather nice cut there that Mrs. Glue picked up. So yeah, it was fantastic. Seared it on the barbecue.
So what do you have it on?
Well, go to the next one there, Zach. Thank you. So
okay.
That's after the sear. I seared the you-know-what out of it on the barbecue at very high heat.
Yeah.
And then threw it in a pan with some butter. You're supposed to have like oregano and stuff, but I just threw it in with some butter and baked it for 35 minutes. And it came out, and the results, as you can see here, are lovely. A perfect
Oh, that looks great.
doneness.
35 minutes, it was still that pink.
Yeah. Well, the reason the sear is what does it. The sear
okay.
is supposed to keep all the juices in and just allow it to slowly cook internally.
Okay.
But man, I've never that might be the finest piece of meat I've ever made at home.
So how thick was it?
Reid, that thing had to have been 3 inches thick.
Okay, so it's a massive.
It's big.
Okay.
It's like a roast.
Right.
It's essentially a roast, but
it's part steak, part roast.
Yeah.
All nutrition.
Yeah. And there was a bone. So you know when you get a bone on something and you cut the bone off and you eat what's on the bone? Oh.
That looked great. I would have liked to try that. See, it's interesting when I cook with my mom and dad. It's I'm generally in charge of the steak. Finally, because my dad and I both like medium rare. I don't mind if it's still actually kind of red in the middle. My dad likes it pink, but my mom is well done.
No,
So
Sorry, Louise.
she would say that. Say, oh, look at all the blood. I'm like, Mom, it's not blood.
It's not blood.
Yes, I told her that, but she doesn't believe me. It's some other substance that is red that comes out, but it's not like the animal's blood rolling around on your plate.
Yeah, it's actually good juice.
Yeah, but yeah. So finally, I have control of my own steaks after decades of trying for me and my father.
Yeah, it's got to be rare, medium rare at cooked the longest, like medium rare.
Okay.
Not a medium guy. I like it red.
Yeah. See, I can still do medium.
There are people that will have like a blue rare. Do you know what that is?
Isn't that just
Like
on the grill for seconds? I don't know if I could do that. And I eat sushi and stuff like that, but with steak, I still want it warm at least. I don't know if I would like the meat actually.
What's your cut of steak gauge? Like, what's your cooking?
What?
Like, how do you like it done?
Medium rare.
I like medium, in between medium and medium rare.
Okay.
Right, so still
Pink.
pinky, quite pink, yeah.
Yeah. But not well done.
No.
And not blue.
No.
Now, having said that, hamburger, I don't want any pink.
No.
Really?
You
I thought that was bad for you. or
You can. I
potentially
mean,
bad for
in
you.
the U.S., it's that's how they present a burger to you.
Reid, guys our age, we grind our own meat at this point.
Well, you remember, I still am 6 months behind you. I'll get there. All right, so that's a good adventure for you on the weekend. Congratulations.
Oh, it's fantastic.
The first time cooking that.
I've never cooked a tomahawk, but it was surprisingly really easy. Like you'd have, because I literally lit it on fire on the barbecue,
And then you
to
put it
sear
in the oven?
and then you finish it in the oven.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just very simple seasoning.
Very
No, like, did you put any salt, pepper, garlic stuff?
salt and pepper.
That's it, eh?
Yeah, a bit of Montreal steak spice.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I don't know why they call it Montreal steak spice.
Well, because it gets imported from Montreal.
I don't know. Didn't taste like Montreal to me, but
Now people are putting in how they like their meat in the nasty chat. Jen Cool, medium well for me, medium rare for the hubs. Yeah, see, medium well I would consider overdone for my tastes now.
well, and it does depend on the cut. Like the higher quality cut, the more you can get away with an overcooked steak.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
like
true.
a tenderloin
But the more I then want those,
or a fillet, as they
pinkish
call
to
it, you can cook that thing.
I think it's pronounced fillet.
Filet magnon.
Yeah. So sorry, what was the height of your steak again? We were talking about just as quickly when Jay and I were talking about bad grammar and words that are used incorrectly. I don't know if I said it, but one of mine is when height. It's width and height. It's not height.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes
Isn't that a
from.
town in Alberta? Isn't there a height?
Height? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Where's our map?
Maybe that's we need our
Gosh
pull down map
darn
with
it.
Joe Elliott's picture on it. Okay, 780, that was awesome. 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. We are already 1/3 of the way to our daily goal of 100, and the show is not even 1/9 of the way old. So,
Okay, so Hythe is northwest of Grand Prairie.
yeah, it's up there. So it
And
has height on the
It
map.
does on the map have Hythe, in
Height
fact.
has height on your map.
And there is the Hythe Motor Speedway.
Oh, we should get somebody on from there.
Yeah. Hythe Motor Speedway. It's an oval. Sweet. There also is an Esso card lock.
Meaning?
Gas station.
Right, but is that significant that they would have one?
It does qualify you as a hamlet.
Oh, okay, nice. All right. Well, we have covered off a lot in 12 minutes. That's what I love about doing the show with you. All right. Corey says, come on, get to the meat of the show. We are. We have plenty of Oilers stuff coming up, including comments from Connor McDavid today, who took part in the optional skate, and he seems fine. Now, he's not going to play tonight. I would still say he's not going to play on Wednesday. It raises the possibility of maybe Saturday in Vancouver. I guess we'll see about that, but it certainly indicates, I think, what we were kind of anticipating last week, that it's going to be much closer to the 2 weeks rather than the 3 from when they announced 2 to 3 weeks. So we will have some key comments from McDavid today coming up in about 8 or 9 minutes as part of the Oil Understood presented by GCL Diesel. But speaking of people's weekends, we have our guest later on today is going to be a colleague, because we got to feature our own personalities on the show that we have here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Lieutenant Eric is going to join us a little bit later on. Now, he was not on the morning show,
No.
but he's at Century Casino tonight for Monday Night Football.
Yes.
And we're going to put him to work, but for some storytelling and impressions of being there. So if you were watching TSN, or were they actually on CTV, or both, whatever. If you're watching the
TSN.
playoffs,
It was on TSN.
if you're watching the playoff games on the weekend, you know that in the fourth quarter, and this is for the benefit of people on YouTube, we're going to throw up a picture. We have the video for later, I think.
Yeah.
This is going to be a screen cap of our very own Lieutenant Eric celebrating one of the 14 interceptions the Riders got in the fourth quarter.
That was right at the end of the game when they kind of had sealed it.
They really sealed it?
Yeah.
Okay, if it wasn't already over.
And so we were texting on the group chat. Obviously, Dustin was under the weather, but he was able to do that. And he had said that at one point he was really struggling, so he had to mute his mic, and he was coughing quite badly. But then they cut to a clip of Lieutenant Eric in the crowd chanting, "Bull."
About something.
Bull. He says he almost lost his lunch. But this here, this is our beloved LTE in the wild.
Massive
And-
Riders fan.
Yes.
Where's his Riders tattoo? It's on his leg, isn't it? I've seen it, so it can't be anywhere too hidden.
It's on his calf.
On his calf.
Okay. There we
Right.
go.
Well, and he also has one on his body. Hi-oh. Get it? Like he branded his calf with the Riders logo. Forget
Oh
it.
boy.
Yeah, I ruined
This is
everything.
this is a real beef kind of show.
This is a real cow bleep
Should've
type
wore
of
my
show.
cowboy hat.
All right, so we will have Lieutenant Eric on the show later to talk about being there, because we had Britton Gray from CJME Regina on the show on Friday, and we know about Rider Nation and how they love the team. So big playoff game. They won. It was I want to know if I feel like must have been a party atmosphere in the crowd, but maybe it was nervous. I mean, they were ahead most of the game, but never totally in control either, I guess, till the last few minutes.
Well, and surprisingly, that there was several times they flashed and panned out on the crowd, and the upper bowl was quite sparse, I would say. I'm not as Edmonton, having the Elks organization here, we're certainly none to talk, but I just assumed that would be a sellout for the Saskatchewan Roughriders to host a Western semifinal.
Well, yeah, and this is I don't know how far down this rabbit hole we want to go today, but CFL attendance, though I think overall it was okay this year. But again, you're having games in November, right? People have to, in Saskatchewan, you're asking people to drive distances to come in. It's getting dark earlier already because of the clock. So are you making that trip? Even though this one was on a Saturday, which I'm glad they moved them to the Saturday.
They were listening.
I think the Grey Cup should be on a Saturday.
Me too.
But yeah, it's a fair point. I thought that it would have been packed. You know what? I got to say, the game in Toronto looked pretty good. I know on that one side there was nobody in the upper deck.
Yeah.
But the lower deck and the upper deck on the one side were not packed, but it was hard to pick out the empty seats from what I saw. And I got to say, if you're a fan that went to that game, you went to the game when the Argos scored 58 points.
Crazy.
You're not forgetting about that one. And I thought they sounded good. The people that were there were into it, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I thought that there might be a few more people at that game in Regina, but I think it's just the time of year, and this is the whole other debate. Should the season be pushed forward? Like, should the Grey Cup have been this weekend? Instead of in a couple of weeks and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Lieutenant Eric being at that game and on television leads us into our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install, all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. So, inspired by Lieutenant Eric being on TSN, give us a story about a time you were on TV in the crowd at a game or on the Jumbotron at a game. So again, sports specific. This isn't CFRN did a story on weeds and they took footage of me using fertilizer or weed spray, whatever. No. A time at a sporting event you were on TV or on the Jumbotron. What's the story? 780-218-9999. And you can jump into the Nasty Chat as well. Email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. So that should be fun.
Babbitt Stash was in the EST inbox, and he said that the picture of LTE with the can of beer should be coined the Pilsner Shuffle.
That's awesome. Okay. We also have, because it's an Oilers game day, we have our mystery athlete of the game.
Oh, boy.
Our mystery athlete.
Can I just say something here?
Yes.
I just want everybody to know that I did not have any. I think last week when we had one that was gotten on the first clue, I think something happened in Reid's brain. So I just want to say, on behalf of the Reid Wilkins show, I'm sorry, but Reid is really starting to make this tough.
Yes.
So there you go.
Well, I'm starting to find different angles from which to come at it.
I like it. I said that in jest. I really think the harder the better. Let's work.
Well,
at
last
this.
week's was hard because we had a fictional athlete, Rod Tidwell.
Mm-hmm. Is today's athlete fictional?
Today's athlete is a real person. And
okay,
that's
well,
all,
that's
all
a
I'll
first
say.
clue right there.
The mystery athlete of the game presented by Hudson's, Canada's Pub. Join them Friday and Saturdays, 9 p.m. and after for the late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Text only for your guesses, 780-218-9999. You're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. Hudson'sCanada'sPub.com, by the way, is where you can book your reservations. You're limited to 3 guesses, and Jay keeps track. All right? So, total of 5 clues if needed. And the first clue is football. First clue is football. That's it.
Can you spell that?
F-O-O-T-B-A-L-L. Now, last week, we didn't spell one of the clues because it was a person's name, not the bird Crow. It was Cameron Crowe, the director of the movie. Today's first clue is simply football. All right? Leave it at that. Nobody's going to start. Nobody's even going to try to guess after that.
The Lou Dort report sent in a guess.
Is it correct?
Is it Lou Dort?
No.
I'm guessing Tube Socks will also send in his.
Well, because there are a couple of people who just fire in. Oh, Tony Tanti.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony Tanti's incorrect. I guess that there's another clue. It's not Tony Tanti, but the first clue is football. Okay, we got Lieutenant Eric to come. Plenty on the Oilers, the win last night, the game coming up tonight against the Devils, and you'll hear from Connor McDavid when we get back. But first, a sports update with Zach Kubish.
At home, the Edmonton Oilers face off against the New Jersey Devils, where you could join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 5:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. And there's just one other game in the league with the Predators playing against the LA Kings. And down south, Dak Prescott for the Cowboys went down last night with a hamstring injury and is expected to be sidelined for multiple weeks. Prescott is currently waiting on a second opinion for treatment of his injury. And at 6:15, it's the Bucs looking to give the Chiefs their first loss of the season, and you could come down to the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge to catch the game with Lieutenant Eric. In basketball, the Raptors hit the court against the Nuggets with the entire league in action tonight. Just after the break, the Reid Wilkins Show continues with some Oilers discussion. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 $10 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielson Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Hope you had a great weekend. Jay Milne, Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Zach Kubish is here as well. He was on the Hangout earlier talking about his UFC experience, and I know Hernan asked you about it as well. Tony Gazzola was there too. If people have missed that joke from over the weekend, Tom's spot at UFC was labeled for Tony Gazzola. I remember when I was... several years ago, I got my Eskimos accreditation, and it was for Reid Wilkinson. But I get that a lot. I get my first name gets misspelled a lot, and I get letters added on to my last name.
That's great.
Yeah.
That would be a good mishap. That's like legendary Tom Wilkinson, right?
Yeah, which I guess wouldn't be a bad person to be confused with, though I don't think I would ever be confused with that. There was
we had our own, speaking of the off-topic topic of have you ever been on TV or the Jumbotron, and what did they catch you doing? I mean, let's go back a couple, not even, a month ago to the Birds of Summer, right on this very show.
Yes, that's true. The young lady what was her name? Summer,
yeah.
Was caught giving the double middle finger to Couturier. Couturier, and who was the other guy in the box? I can't remember now.
Who did Perry fight?
Pardon me.
Connect me?
No.
I forgot already.
But
But yeah, Couturier fought Stetcher.
yeah, and then that was my fired up because Stetcher came to Perry came to the box and slapped, or Stetcher was in the box and slapped Perry on the butt.
Oh, right. There was, I can't remember where it was. I'm trying to find it on Instagram because I thought I posted it on Instagram. Maybe I didn't, but some company dropped off cookies at Ched. And I believe the cookies on my desk were left for Rick Wilson or something like that. So I posted a oh, there it is. Oh no, I found it. Reid Williams. So I posted it on Instagram. This was September of 2017. So I put it on Instagram and I wrote, "Poor Williams didn't get his cookies." But they did spell my first name correctly. They just put Williams for my last name,
which is odd. Reid is a far more, I guess, less common name than Wilkins.
I get a lot of R-E-E-D.
Reid,
yeah, which I guess is, and I get a lot of R-I-E-D, and then when I have asked people why did you spell it that way, to me that doesn't make sense.
Probably from German derelict.
They say I before E except after C, and I say and in my name it's R-E-I-D.
Well, in German speaking, that's totally that's not right.
I don't know
because if it goes IE, you say it ride. I think something. It's been a long time since university. Tube Sucks. Really has. Came in with a story, not so much about himself, but Mrs. Tube Sucks. Years ago, they were at an Oil Kings game, and she was battling through strep throat. During the intermission, they put her up on the Jumbotron, and she was horrified with the pain look on her face as she struggled to eat the snack she had. So he laughed at her. He was laughing at her in this experience. He said it was hilarious.
The Oil Kings, I don't think they do it anymore.
Snackwards?
Yes.
That's what it was.
It was Snackwards, yes.
Okay, so what is that? Because I didn't know if it was a mistype.
They videotape people eating snacks, and then they edit them all together, but they do it backwards. So it looks like their food is in their mouth, and they're taking it out and putting it back in the bag.
Okay,
or the hot
so they did this for her, and she could hardly swallow.
But she was... Yeah.
What a bad time to be on the Jumbotron.
Oh, my goodness. All right. A lot of good Jumbotron stories coming in, I'm sure. Oilers and Devils tonight. Oilers coming off a 4-2 win over Calgary. They are 2-0 without McDavid as we bring you the Oil Understood, presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Okay. So we're actually going to start by hearing from a player who didn't play last night and won't play tonight, but of course that's Connor McDavid, who did take the optional morning skate today. Here's what he had to say about his injury.
When it first happens, obviously you're concerned that, it's maybe something a little more serious, but thankfully I got good news on it, and I've been doing everything possible to make it feel better, and I'm not just sitting around waiting for it to feel better. I'm doing a lot of different things, and obviously the team here, the medical team here, the staff here, everybody's great, and understanding that I'm always pushing to play and trying to find that balance.
All right, so very good news that he's already out there skating, not a full practice or full morning skate, but out there for the optional just a week after getting hurt. Now, sometimes players skate fairly quickly, and as we know, as Tom Gazzola reported, McDavid went out there for a twirl, what was it, on Thursday when he was back in Edmonton, just kind of a thing in a tracksuit, but he's out there in full equipment today taking part in an optional morning skate. So, who knows? I don't think Wednesday. Maybe Vancouver is a possibility on Saturday. I think we'll see. I don't think they want to rush him back. And then a couple of home games next Tuesday and Thursday. And then as you prophesized that he would play against the Leafs on the 16th one, where I think your initial prediction was that he would be back for that game, which was a pretty good prediction. But now it's, I think, hoped that he's back before that. Maybe that's his second or third game back.
Well, and I mean, as far as Oilers fans should be concerned, that he was working the edges on the ice this morning. I mean, it looks like this was more of a cautious move by the training staff to not have anything further get damaged. So, I mean, great to see him on the ice. Great to see him moving around. I mean, this week or next week he will be back for sure.
Oilers winning in Calgary after beating Nashville on Thursday. McDavid had to watch those games on television, but here's what he had to say about them.
But it's been great. 2 great wins. Thought they played great in Nashville. Grinded one out last night, and a lot of positive stuff. It's been good.
How about Leon in particular? 6 points here.
Yeah, amazing. He's such a great player and doesn't get enough credit as is. It's great to see him doing so well and helping the team win some games.
Well, great starts in both games, scoring in the first minute in both games, both times the Draisaitl line. He sets up Arvidsson in Nashville. He scores himself off the pass from Podkolzin last night. So both games, they've started well. They've scored, beyond just scoring in the first minute, they've started well. I thought they owned the first 15 minutes last night, quite frankly, and maybe could have had more than just a 2-goal lead.
But that's a very positive sign in itself that they've scored early in these games and taken control of the games early instead of having it go the other way where they're playing well, and then the other team has an odd man rush, scores, and then it deflates the air out of the team, right? This has seemed to propel them to be able to withstand the late surges that come on. So, yeah, a couple really strong games by Draisaitl and your number one player on the team right now, and Podkolzin.
Well, I want to talk about him. McDavid's going to talk about him. What do you think of Jeff Skinner's goal?
I love how Skinner plays. There was that game last week where he tried to get the puck in, and he had no business trying to get into that gap. Well, here again, he does almost the same thing, but at a much higher speed, and has the audacity and the dexterity to get his stick in there as it's just sitting and hovering near the line and tap it in. I mean, just a hustle. Heart, and hustle would describe Jeff Skinner. Not the goalie, right? We're talking about the forward?
Jeff Skinner,
okay,
the forward.
Good. I just wanted to make sure.
Stuart Skinner, the goalie, had a good game. When that goal went in, I thought it was Hyman's goal. I thought the puck must have come back into the crease and Hyman forced it in.
Right.
And then you could see they went to Skinner, and he was the first guy by, the flyby by the bench for the high fives. And then, so I thought, he must have banked it off of a defenseman or off Vladar or something, or maybe a Flame put it in themselves and he was the last guy to touch it. And then you see that replay. That's a great athletic play.
Very.
To reach back and tuck the puck in with his entire body behind the net, and he's moving totally away from, totally in the opposite direction from where the puck was. That was a really cool
And
goal.
if you look back on that goal of where it started, Jeff Skinner beat out 2 other Flames defenders to get to that position, to take that pass from Hyman, who that was a brilliant play by Hyman to fend off the defender, make that pass and lead to that opportunity. But just a lot of hustle on that play, which, from your second line is fantastic.
Yeah, and he's been good. I mean, Jeff Skinner was obviously underwhelming in the preseason. I know it was just the preseason, but you were hoping to see a little bit more. But he's been very solid and is mucky around the net much more than, well, I was worried maybe that wouldn't be his game. I mean, and he does have outside moves and he likes to shoot, but he has kind of his own way to get to the blue paint.
It's funny you mentioned that, because out of those 2 signings of Arvidsson and Skinner, you would have thought Arvidsson had that more grit, that sandpaper edge to him, which I'm not saying he doesn't, but Skinner has sure come through in the clutch in that respect, in showing that he will get to the tough to get to places and muck it up. And when he scored, I'm just going to say it. The smile on his face is overwhelming. It's contagious. You can't help but be happy for the guy.
That was a nice goal for sure. We'll push the pot calls and stuff to after the break, because I want to just reply to Arthur just posted in the Nasty Chat, but it's worth bringing up. And Jay and I were talking before the show that we should talk about this at some point. Game not on TV tonight. Well, it will be on a TV, but the world is changing, of course. So it is on Prime or Amazon. Amazon Prime. I still call it Amazon Prime, whatever they call it. The Amazon streaming service.
They call it Prime.
So this is Monday Night Hockey, and I'm glad I did the oil stream earlier today with Tom filling in for what's his name, Dustin. Haven't seen him in a while.
Dustin Nelson,
something like that. This game, and it's not even on Sportsnet. I thought it was going to be, as we see with Thursday Night Football in the United States of America, it would be on Prime, but Canada, it's just like, TSN just shows it. So I thought that's what this was going to be, but apparently not. You cannot watch this on Sportsnet. You can watch it on Prime Video. So if you have Prime Video, great. Go into it at 6:30, and I assume there'll be a sports or live tab to select, and you can watch the game. If not, then I guess you have to decide if you want to get Prime for this game, so you have it for future games as well.
Well, and I'm not a fan of this. You could probably see that coming a mile away.
Yeah.
But I do understand that this is the way it's going. This is the way it's going to be going.
Well, these things,
they're going to start picking off more and more games.
Yeah.
As these subscription-based, apps are becoming more popular. I'm just noticing here that Adnan Virk co-hosts the Prime Monday Night Hockey, the pregame. That's I believe he started at TSN. Well, he probably didn't start at TSN. But he was on TSN at one point, so that'll be interesting to see. But John Forsland is announcing it. I mean, it's just going to be weird.
Oh, yeah, well, Forsland's great. Yeah, he's been around.
It's just going to be weird. But, I would say instead of me, old man yelling at clouds, I'll just try and embrace it as best as I can and see what the experience is like.
Well, it is. I mean, look, these streaming services are multi-million or billion-dollar businesses in their own, so they can afford to pay for whatever, and have
it's
NFL
a 2-year
or
deal
NBA.
that they got with the NHL.
And as I think I'm pretty comfortable saying this, does anybody watch anything live except for sporting events anymore?
News.
Because even if something is fair enough. Yeah, I guess that's
news.
Us, hopefully a few people.
Like there's something going on tomorrow night that people are going to be watching live.
Probably, good point.
Right. But I think that's about it. I mean that.
But I guess in terms of entertainment shows.
Probably not.
So, I don't know. It seems like every second commercial is for this Dr. Odyssey show. I don't know when it's on. They assume they say it. Can't you just get... you can just get it later. I watch... Well, if it's just a streaming service, then you get it. You know when it comes out, but you can watch it whenever you want. But there are still shows that are on Thursday at 9, as every show on SCTV used to be. But who watches them live Thursday at 9? Doesn't everybody just stream it later or tape it on their PVR?
Yeah.
tape it. Record it. It's not actual tape.
Dating yourself.
Imagine if there was little tape inside your machine. So, yes, it is on Prime Video. That is how you can watch the Oilers game tonight. And did Tom say there's 4 Oilers games on these?
I believe.
I think throughout the year. So that's the way it's going. But I've already a couple people saying I won't get it. But, yeah, you're the consumer. You're going to decide. We're not going to tell you what to do. I'm lucky enough that I get to go. Plus, I already have Prime anyway.
Well, and talk to your buddies because from what I understand, you can share Prime accounts pretty easily. But, yeah, if you are listening or watching on the YouTube stream right now, be sure to hammer that thumbs up. Let's try to get to 100 before 4.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Let's do it. We're in striking distance, Reid.
Yeah, we're doing very well.
It's
all right,
capable.
We will get to buying or selling for Damon Bunting. You'll hear more from McDavid. The second clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Day. And text your guesses to 780-218-9999. The second clue is Cairo. Okay, the first clue was football. The second clue is Cairo. We have a sports update presented by Paramount Flooring. It's Zach Kubish.
The Oilers look for 3 in a row without their captain when they host the New Jersey Devils. You can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show to get you set for the game at 5:30, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. And there's just one other game around the league with the Predators and the Kings duking it out in Nashville. The 49ers have opened a 21-day practice window for Christian McCaffrey as he returned to practice this morning for the first time since his injury in September. And elsewhere, Dak Prescott suffered a hamstring injury in yesterday's loss to the Falcons and is expected to miss multiple weeks. Prescott is currently looking for a second opinion on the injury to confirm his treatment options. Thursday Night Football has the 7-0 Chiefs meeting up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for that one. Kickoff goes just after 6. In basketball, all 30 NBA teams are in action, with the Raptors visiting the Nuggets in Denver. This sports update has been brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly family owned and operated for 33 years, Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. Just after the break, it's buying or selling for Damon Bunting. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website, edmontonsportstalk.com.
All right, we are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve online. It's jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. The off-topic topic for William Huff is tell us about a time. Did somebody win already?
No, but we better get rolling on it because it's going to be a tough one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, I'm an idiot. My bad.
No, it's okay.
It's a goof up.
No, that's not a goof up at all. I just want to make sure I'm going where you want to go.
I forgot Cairo. I totally forgot Cairo. My bad.
You forgot I did the second clue.
Yeah,
yes.
I forgot.
Okay,
My
sorry.
bad.
No. So the clues for the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game are football and Cairo. Okay? Do I need to spell Cairo? Did you put it in the chat?
I didn't. I wanted to wait for Daddy to talk.
Well, Dustin's not here.
You're my daddy, Reid.
Cairo.
From 3 to 6.
Cairo. Cairo.
Oh, boy.
Football and Cairo are the two clues. The William Huff off-topic topic. Tell us about a time you were on the Jumbotron at a sporting event or on a television broadcast at a sporting event, like our own Lieutenant Eric was at the CFL West Final in Regina on Saturday. All right?
Cairo?
Yes, Cairo.
Got it.
All right. Yeah, and we are going to just... Lieutenant Eric's going to join us at about 4:20, and I believe we are going to have Ken Daneyko from MSG. He covers the Devils, former Devils player, on at about 4:40 now. So that'll be fun to get him on the show. He's a great guy to talk to. Was a very mean and rugged defenseman when he played. Won the Stanley Cup more than once.
Yeah, I'm scared to interview him.
He will be fine.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't think this was going to take off quite the way it would. So we'll kind of roll with where the audience is taking some of this because there seems to be as much interest in this as the game itself, and that is that the game is on Prime Video. Okay, it is not on Sportsnet or CBC or A Channel. Remember when they had the games, or ITV or whatever. Okay,
Channel.
So we're going to do buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Before we kind of get into a what-if scenario we were just talking about during the commercial of buying or selling, I want to answer a question. Oh, no, who put that in the nasty chat? Connor Kushnerik. How long until we need a subscription to listen to the game on the radio? All right. I mean, I can't help but answer this as someone who worked at 630 CHED for 14 years and was part of the Oilers Radio Network broadcast for 11. I think as long as the games are on CHED or conventional radio, you would not need a subscription, okay? And quite frankly, I think the odds of the audio broadcast, so we'll just talk about the audio broadcast here. The odds of the audio broadcast not being on CHED and being on some other conventional radio station are minimal, if not impossible. And I say that because you have to pay for the rights and you have to have a relationship with OEG and the Oilers. And CHED's advantage, Corus's advantage, is that they've had that for 26 years now or whatever. that station has the infrastructure and the equipment and everything to broadcast games. Now, I said conventional audio, okay? And I want to emphasize here, I am speculating and I'm giving my opinion, and part of it is this a what if. This is not something I want somebody to turn into a blog. Reid Wilkins says Ched is going to lose the rights. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Just typing my blog.
I think if the games are ever not on 630 Ched or 880 Ched, I don't know if I'll ever get used to that.
No, you don't need to.
What if the Oilers at some point have the capabilities? And remember, they already employ Jack, Bob, and Cam. Okay, they didn't employ me, but they employed Jack, Bob, and Cam. What if the Oilers ever said, we're going to audio stream the games on Oilers Plus? You know, if there's a way in, I'm not even up to date on car technology, but on your screen, on your little touch screen in your vehicle, in your car, your truck, you get in, and your presets are no longer radio stations, they're apps. And you touch Oilers Plus, and that's how the game comes to you. But you might have to pay for that to have an Oilers Plus subscription. That's how I could ever see that's how I could see possibly having to pay for an audio stream. Does that make sense?
100%.
I mean, I'm not totally...
You'd be naive
I'm not
to
saying
not,
this
to,
is
to,
likely, but...
No, but you'd be naive to not think that's how it's going to go. Right? Eventually. Now, Ched does pay OEG.
Yes.
For the rights to that.
Yes.
So they'd be losing that and hoping to recoup it through their own subscription.
And selling advertising.
And selling their own advertising.
Which, by the way, I don't know if I'm speaking out of school here, Chorus made money off the Face-Off show and Overtime Open Line. The game broadcast was OEG revenue. Because you know how I would end the Face-Off show at 6:50 for a 7 o'clock game? Then it's Oilers Radio Network. So anyway, that's how I could see you having to pay for an audio stream. That if maybe they just say, okay, we already have Jack, or it's usually Cam now on the audio. Jack's doing way more TV. We already have Cam and Bob, and we need a host. We have Paige and Tony. One of them can do it, or they can take turns, and the other one does the video feed. For example, okay? For example, that is somewhat educated speculation. That's all it is. It's not, oh, that's going to happen. Okay, everybody, just take it as old Reid talking about stuff that he knows a little bit about.
Well, something's got to change because the landscape of AM radio is changing. It has been for the past several years. The longevity of AM radio is to be determined, but there would be plenty of signs suggesting that it will not be around for the next 15 to 20 years.
Or it's going to have to adapt quicker
well,
than it
that's
has,
what I mean.
Or maybe it's too late already. But yeah.
They already are, though. I mean, a lot of like how this whole place is broadcast
right
is through YouTube, iHeartRadio, or the TuneIn app.
Yes.
Right? So people are listening on that. So yeah, it's
so I'm just saying things are changing. I mean, obviously, Edmonton Sports Talk is a sign of some of the changes now. But there, in my mind, there will always be a space for the spoken word in terms of communicating and broadcasting.
Sure,
I don't think the spoken word broadcasting will disappear. I don't think I mean, we have YouTube. It's cool, but a lot of people listen on the streams or on podcasts. So I don't think that's going away. I still think there will be a demand for live sports as audio for people driving, working in the garage, who are too nervous to watch on TV, whatever, walking the dog. I mean, part of the reason, one of the ways Cam Moon got to know me was he would listen to Inside Sports while he was walking the dog in Red Deer before he came to work for the Oilers. Right?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be that. So that's my response to that. Maybe I'll apologize if that's too inside baseball. You guys can message me if you want to say, Reid, don't ever get that deep in the weeds again. But I wanted to give my opinion and my take on it.
Well, I mean, this is, Shovelhead said, I bought a smart TV. I don't have any cable package. When I want to watch a certain channel, TSN, for example, I'll buy a subscription so I can watch the sport I like. During an off season, I cancel the subscription, right? That is where a lot of sports entertainment is moving to. And we have had so many people that have messaged in that I think Rip City Step was the first one, but Rob from the Grove joins in that sentiment about how they remember Oilers pay-per-view games.
Right, they did try that for a while, probably 20 years ago, maybe more than that. I think that's how Rob started doing games. He would go do a pay-per-view game. Rob Brown, yeah.
Well, let's go to the question we talked about in the break.
Okay. Here, okay. Are we gonna? Well, all right. So let's say everything is not on cable. Everything's streaming. And now, as a consumer, as a huge Oilers fan, and we're assuming if you're listening to a show called Edmonton Sports Talk, you have at least some interest in sports and in the Edmonton sports and the Edmonton Oilers specifically. So we're going to assume many of you are Oilers fans and like following the team. So Sportsnet Rogers hypothetically no longer has the package, or they do, but here's how you can consume the Oilers on television through video. $5 a game. It's $5 a game. Okay? Or, so 5 times 82 is what?
410.
410. Or you just pay, you were saying $150. I would say more like $250 a year. Would you do that? Would you buy individual games to watch them? So it basically becomes a pay-per-view, but instead of it being $25 a game, it's $5. And maybe this is a world in which you don't have cable anymore, or your cable package is much smaller.
That would be more of a leap than suggesting the audio side would go to something digital, because then OEG would have to produce their own television as well.
No, I should say for this, the TV stuff for me would still be produced by Rogers or Amazon or TSN or
Sportsnet.
Or, yeah, Rogers, Sportsnet.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Right. But
you can already get the Sportsnet
yeah.
for the year for, I don't know.
So do they have a version of that already?
I don't know if it's Oilers specific, but there is a way that you can just get Sportsnet Plus
right
for the year.
So is this the world we're heading towards?
Yes.
On a Saturday night,
yes,
you don't get to pick between Penguins, Canadians, Oilers, Flames, Canucks, Leafs, and Hurricanes, Jets. You can pay $5 to watch the Oilers, Flames. I might have said the Flames in there twice. Whatever. And then tonight, am I going to be home to watch the Oilers game? Yeah, I want to watch, but I got to pay $5, about the cost of renting a movie. And every single game would be like that. You would not just be able to turn on your TV and flip to Sportsnet West and watch the Oilers. You would have to pay for the game. Or you pay $250 for the whole year. Playoffs, buying or selling that. I think most people would buy, quite frankly. If you're not paying much for other cable packages.
Sportsnet Premium is at $250 per year.
And you get every game?
Every game.
Okay.
So
around the league.
Well, there are regional restrictions that do apply.
Okay.
But Sportsnet Plus is $20 a month or $180 for the year.
Okay.
So
we're already
doing it. I think our numbers would need to change.
So are they trying to wean us off traditional cable, and then it's just you're going to have to buy individual games or individual teams? I don't know.
I mean, I still pay. I have DAZN for NFL.
Oh, do you?
Because I can put on Red Zone, the Washington game, watch Dallas get pounced, and the other. I can have 4 TVs on my screen through that.
Oh, they divide the screen for you.
Yeah.
Right, which is another thing now, the sizes of the TV. Remember picture-in-picture? And the little picture was like half the size of your cell phone?
Pip.
Yeah, the Pip.
There's
yeah.
a Pip button on your remote.
So anyway, it's on Amazon tonight. So if you don't have it's on Prime. So if you don't have a Prime subscription, you have to decide whether or not someone put in there, can I just get it for tonight and then cancel it? I don't know. Or they might have a 1-month trial, but then when the Oilers are on Prime later in the season, I don't know if they'll let you do that more than once if you've already registered an email. So anyway, just a bit of a hypothetical. It seems like people are wouldn't like that, having to buy individual games. But I could see a world where maybe we go to that, or instead of having a cable package, they say which team or teams do you want to follow. And then if you want teams beyond that, you'd have to pay a little bit more. I could see that happening, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things happening now that I couldn't have predicted 10 years ago with how we're consuming sports. So I realize what I'm saying might seem unlikely, but I also think to myself, why wouldn't they ask the consumer to do that if people are willing to pay for live sports? And it's still way cheaper than going to a game. I don't know.
It's a question for sure. It's and people are doing it. I mean, there's obviously a market for TSN plus Sportsnet plus.
Big Slam Nasty. You made a joke about Windows 95. That's pretty good. Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brew House. Don't forget about the Canadian Ice House, taking your sports experience to a higher level of ultra cool. TrackMan golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit thecanadianicehouse.com. All right, so we'll have Lieutenant Eric and Ken Daneyko from the Devils broadcast booth coming up in the next hour of the show. Should I give hint number 3 now?
Sure.
All right, hint number 3 in the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. You can only text your guess to 780-218-9999. The third clue is Montreal. So the clues to this point: football, Cairo, and Montreal. Back in a couple minutes. Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. TrackMan golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The McDavid-less Oilers are back in action, battling the Devils while the Kings take on the Predators. And you can tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas just an hour before puck drop right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. In football, the Dallas Cowboys will be without Dak Prescott for multiple weeks after he went down yesterday with a hamstring injury. And Christian McCaffrey has returned to practice with the 49ers, opening up a 21-day practice window for the superstar, having him back on the field for the first time in about 6 weeks. On the field tonight, Mahomes and his Chiefs take on the Buccaneers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge to catch the action, while over in basketball, the Raptors are playing against the Denver Nuggets with all the NBA teams in action tonight. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your Sports Update.
Tee you up for the message, and then I'll tee you up for touch the numbers. Yes, 6:30 game tonight, Oilers and Devils. There is, of course, a Monday Night Football game as well. What is that? Chiefs, Buccaneers.
Yeah.
They played in the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Chiefs are -9 favorites.
Well, they're good. Bucks are not bad, too.
Bucks are, little injury riddled right now, but I think -9 seems like a lot.
We got the William Huff off-topic topic about a time you were on the Jumbotron or on a television broadcast while at a game. We'll have a personalized story from Lieutenant Eric in a few minutes. And we're also talking about buying or selling for Damon Bunting real estate. And hey, thanks for everybody for kind of jumping into this, because Jay and I didn't realize that it was going to be this much interest from people. But about the game being on Prime Video tonight, the future of consuming sports visually on your television, or on, I guess on your tablet or your laptop or your what are those other things called? Your laptop, your phone,
smartphone.
This is way more than a phone, It's who even calls anybody. But you had a couple messages.
Well, Ken to the EST inbox made a interesting comment. Guys, how is this Amazon exclusive impacting your sports pub partners? Centric Casinos or Hudson's, BP's. Unless they got the streaming hardware in place, I'm guessing they're not thrilled with losing the Oilers revenue that would flow in.
Like, would there be a reason for a sports bar in Edmonton to have a Prime subscription?
Well, there is now.
There is now. Thursday Night Football, there would not be, because you can get it on TSN.
But are those all smart TVs? You know what I mean? Like, do they have smart TV capabilities where
I see what
the
you
manager can say, "Oh shoot, don't
Bring up
worry
the
about
app.
it, guys. I got a Prime account. I'll just tether to these TV." I don't know if that's actually in place. I know when we were at Century Casino doing a late in the season game for the Elks, they had a heck of a time finding CTV, the news channel.
Oh, because that one Elks game was
Yes.
on, the Edmonton-Calgary game was on CTV, not TSN.
That's right. So this is an interesting, and this will have impact. So now you're going to have sports bars that are going to have these streaming services in place as well.
Now, having said that, though, it shouldn't be a massive expense for them if they're bringing in dozens of people to eat food and buy beer while watching their favorite team.
But it is an expense. And you got to
have the
additional
technology
expense.
or multiple TVs to do it. Yeah.
We're clipping along here. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't already. We would like to get to 100 while Lieutenant Eric's telling us about his interesting weekend in Regina.
Well, just besides even him being on TV, the whole experience of the game, the tension and or joy in the crowd.
I want to know what he drank, what he ate, where he slept, everything. I want all the details.
I think he slept at center field after the game.
Very well could have.
He just went down. I think Trevor Harris just came up and cradled him and carried him down to center field.
Sang him a lullaby, put him to bed.
We do have the Oilers and the Devils tonight, and we do have Crunching the Numbers on this show every Monday, presented by Gallo LLP, Chartered Professional Accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP if you would like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow. Visit their website, GalloLLP.ca, and see how Gallo LLP can help your business grow.
Okay. So we're looking at a couple things here. Draisaitl.
Yes.
Okay. Earlier, when we were doing our predictions, I predicted that the Oilers' power play percentage would go down, but their 5-on-5 scoring numbers would increase.
I remember you saying that.
Okay. What if I was to tell you that this year, Leon Draisaitl is on pace, and we can start talking about on pace because we're through enough of a chunk of the season that patterns have created or have been created. Leon Draisaitl is on a pace to have his highest 5-on-5 scoring year.
Okay, yeah, even without knowing the exact pace, that makes sense because he gets a ton of power play goals.
He does, but right now, as it sits, this year he's on pace to have 1.08 points per game, 5-on-5. So over a point per game, 5-on-5. His highest to date was just under 1 point at 0.97 in 2019.
That's exceptional. To have
When
over
he had
a point a game at even strength.
Yeah. And, so now is this going to be, is this exaggerated because, Connor's out because he's, he does these things when Connor's out? I don't know. But it is pretty fascinating. He's got 12 games played, 16 points, only 3 of those coming on the power play.
Right. And I think just one power play goal. Right? Yes.
One goal, 2 assists.
Yeah, he has a power play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Podkolzin.
Okay.
Podkolzin through 12 games has 3 points. He is at 0.25 points per game. Now, granted, he's had 2 points in his last 2 games, but he could be heating up a bit. Who knows? His first year, which was a very successful rookie year.
Yes.
He had 26 points in 79 games. That's 0.32 points per game. So he's not far behind that pace early in the season. Your guy, Podkolzin.
All right. Can we do the clip now?
Sure.
Coob, do we have McDavid talking about Podkolzin? McDavid was asked about Podkolzin earlier today, and there's a second question embedded in this. Here's what McDavid had to say about Podkolzin.
He does so many good things. So many good things. He wins battles. He keeps the puck alive for that line. He makes great little plays. You know, the play last night to Leo, even the play to Leo on the first goal in Nashville is a great play. Those are the things that can go unnoticed sometimes, but yeah, when you're playing with a guy like that, it's a lot of fun. He wins a lot of battles. As I said, keeps it alive. Plays physical, works his tail off. Yeah, he's been great. Yeah, he's a first-round pick for a reason, obviously, and this league is confidence is almost half the battle, maybe even more. Everybody can play, everybody can skate and make plays and work hard, but you know, if you don't have confidence, it can be pretty tough. And obviously, that's something he's been searching for, and he should feel really good about himself over the last couple.
Okay, I know you have the numbers here, but I'll just quickly say Podkolzin's last 2 games, very, very good. And I questioned earlier in the season his puck skills and his offensive instincts. But the last 2 games, he has made good plays with the puck. And if he continues to do that, then, oh my goodness, what a potentially strong player you're going to have. If he can actually play with other top 6 players and not have the play die when he gets the puck, which I felt was happening earlier in the season. And when McDavid was out, I was like, come on, why is he going up with Draisaitl and Arvidsson? Good game in Nashville. Hit a guy, got the puck, gave it to Draisaitl. Draisaitl gives it to Arvidsson. There's a goal. Last night's game, gets the puck on the wall right quickly in front of Draisaitl. He scores. So much, much better. And I've seen some reports from that he's out early at practice, out late, puck touches. So good for him. I hope he can continue to do that.
Well, and what Connor said there was confidence is half the battle.
Yeah.
In pro hockey. He's making more confident plays. Even that chip in last night to lead to that first goal. He put the puck in deep. Arvidsson had it. It wasn't a massively successful forecheck, but he did. Podkolzin pinched, clipped it on the board, sent it right in, and made a great pass to Leon. Right? So, I mean, that seemed like more of a confident player to me. But speaking of that goal, as we are crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP, the Oilers have scored opening minute goals in consecutive games for only the 5th time in franchise history.
Oh, wow. You really dug for these.
The last one. Well, how many years ago would you say?
Oh, my God.
You're never going to get it.
That they scored in the first minute in back-to-back games.
Yes. It's happened 5 times in the history of the organization.
Including the last 2 games.
Including these ones, yes.
I didn't see this. It's probably out there somewhere. I don't know, in 02, 03. I'll just pick some random year.
It was actually more recent. It was 2018.
Okay.
In a back-to-back against the King.
Oh, I heard you start to say it. Was it in the playoffs?
No. It was a back-to-back.
Night. They played the same team?
No. It was a night after the prior game.
So in 2018,
road trip.
So it would have been a year in which they did not make the playoffs.
Yes.
Because they were out in 17-18 and they were out in 18-19.
This was actually in 17, Reid. 17-18 season.
Right. So they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't remember this.
February 24th, 25th.
Okay.
Old winter road trip.
LA and Anaheim.
There you go.
But I don't remember the goals. I some random stuff such as this I do remember just from taking notes.
Sure,
each
you
game,
would. It would come to mind.
But
at
I
least,
do not.
Right?
I do not remember this. So Hitch would have been the coach. Yeah, I don't remember the goals or who got them.
Hyman's 119th goals in Oiler ties him with Dave Hunter.
Well, wait a minute. Who got the early goals?
Well, I have that in a separate one.
Okay, sorry.
Well, this is a different one.
This is a different one.
It has to do with the quick scoring, but not necessarily. So for the record, they have never had 3 consecutive games in a row where they've scored in the first minute.
Oh, so they could make
So they can
franchise
make
history
franchise
tonight.
history
Okay,
tonight.
remember that, everybody.
Okay,
Make
you
a
heard
note.
It. You
Write
heard
it
it
on
here.
your napkin.
Zach Hyman's 119th goals in Oilers ties him with Dave Hunter and Peter Klima, the 19th most goals in Oilers history.
He's moving up quickly.
He's moving up. Now, at 20 seconds, which was when Leon scored that goal,
Yes.
Draisaitl became the fourth fastest Oiler to score a goal in the Battle of Alberta. Fourth
Okay.
fastest. Who are the other three that
Well,
were ahead
you
of him?
told me one of them.
Yes.
Was it Klima in 91?
Yes.
Okay, I thought, and when you had me guess this earlier, I guessed the goalie fight game from February 2020 because I believe the Oilers scored twice in the first minute of that game, but it was not prior to 20 seconds.
No.
So I don't know.
So
what the other
Klima
ones
was
would
the
be.
fastest in 91 at 9 seconds. That's amazing.
That's quick.
Friend of the show was on last week, Craig McTavish from 1989. Scored in the Battle of Alberta at the 12-second mark.
Okay.
And Marty McSorley, of all people,
Oh, nice.
in 1986, scored at the 14-second mark.
All right, so if the Oilers score in the first minute of the game tonight, they will have done that in 3 consecutive games for the first time ever. I wonder how many teams have done that in 3 consecutive games.
That's a deep one. Like that
would
that's
be a
impressive.
deep cut.
Yes. That
Okay.
would be.
And I don't remember the Oilers scoring in back-to-back opening minutes back in, when was it? February of 2018?
February 24th and 25th of 2018.
I don't recall. I feel
remember
bad.
that night quite vividly.
Do you?
It was a cold February night.
Oh, imagine that. The wind cut through me.
The wind.
She walked into the bar. It's like a Sam Spade novel all of a sudden. Those are really good crunching the numbers. You went pretty deep. I did not. Yeah, that first minute stuff. It's a fun fact, right? But it is interesting because it doesn't happen, ever that you do it in 3 in a row.
Can I share a pick that's been out there that
Yes.
this is not?
Yes.
And I got to be honest with you. I don't even know who this is.
Okay. Maybe I won't either.
I'm just seeing it. Nick Araki.
Probably a good guess, but not correct.
Okay. You said probably a good guess, or is it a good guess?
Oh, no, maybe not. Well, it's wrong, so I guess it's not a good guess.
It's not Nick Araki.
Was he a
Sickler
CFLer?
What's that?
Yeah, anyway, okay, it doesn't matter.
Whoa, Sickler. This is my buddy. He's over in Spain right now. He's a assistant coach of the Team Canada men's handball team.
Oh, neat.
He's over in Spain listening, so thank you for listening. We'll have to put Spain on the map.
Yeah, we'll have to try to get him on the show.
We can. On the Jumbotron at my first ever NBA game, Steve Nash has returned to Dallas. My uncle and I were on the Jumbotron and the broadcast during the national anthem.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
He's got family that lives in Dallas or Houston, so he must have been down there.
And that's a personal friend of yours?
That's one of my best.
And he's the assistant coach of the Canadian
team handball, senior men's team handball team.
Like the team?
I believe so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's why my daughter plays handball, because his wife coaches her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very neat.
So are they playing a tournament over there, or does he coach a club team over there when he's not doing
No,
international
it's
stuff?
to do with the men's national team. I just don't know exactly what. This is all pretty new.
Oh, nice.
But,
Okay.
He sent a picture of the beer he was drinking, so thank you for that.
That's very heartwarming. We, of course, are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Check him out, jameshbrown.com today, and book your private consultation. That's our off-topic topic about a time you were on the Jumbotron at a game. That's a great story. Or on a TV broadcast.
Rob from the Grove said a couple weeks ago the Monday Prime hockey game was on at Century Casino. So, and of all places, like the sports bars that we partner with are pretty onto it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like your old neighborhood pub, I guess, where they got two
Little
TVs
black and white TV in the corner, like all the old TV shows. They're all gathered around watching. I was just thinking of the show Cheers. Did they have a TV they watched at Cheers?
I don't recall seeing one.
Maybe there was one in that corner by where they went to the back room.
It's just so weird.
Yeah,
I just
thought of the same thing.
Because we had daylight saving time over the weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this clip from an old Cheers episode where they're like, "Okay, guys, time to close up." Norm and what was the mailman's name?
Cliff Clavin.
Cliffy Clavin. They get up to go, "Oh, see you, Sam. 12 hours went by pretty fast. Wow, who'd have thought?" And they're at the door, and not Sam, but the younger guy, Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah.
Woody
Boyd.
He he says, "Hey guys, don't forget to turn your clocks back tonight. You know, it's so they all stop at the door and they look at their clocks and they say, "Wait, so it's 2:00 right now, but we get to roll our clocks. Line them up, Sam."
That's awesome. All right. We are going to line up our buddy Lieutenant Eric as part of our Fired Up segment for Gemco. Ken Daneyko, who broadcasts Devils games, former player with the team, is ahead as well. Right now, we got Kubish with a sports update for Wheelers RV.
At home, the Edmonton Oilers face off against the New Jersey Devils, where you could join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 5:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Over in the NFL, Christian McCaffrey is back at practice for the 49ers, with the team opening up a 21-day practice period for his possible return. Down south, Dak Prescott for the Cowboys went down last night with a hamstring injury and is expected to be sidelined for multiple weeks. Prescott is currently waiting for a second opinion for treatment of his injury. And at 6:15, it's the Bucks looking to give the Chiefs their first loss on the season, and you could come down to the Century Casino's Sports Bar and Lounge to catch the game with Lieutenant Eric. In basketball, the Raptors hit the court against the Nuggets with the entire league in action tonight. This sports update has been brought to you by Wheelers RV and Boat Storage, conveniently located 8 minutes west of St. Albert. Wheelers RV is your safe and secure place to store your RV, boat, or whatever it is you want to store. Visit them at wheelersrvstorage.com to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get one free. Go to wheelersrvstorage.com today and get your storage needs taken care of. And just after the break, Lieutenant Eric joins the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Lottery license number 698984.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Oilers Devils tonight at 6:30. We have pregame coverage with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan at 5:30. So a slightly abbreviated edition of the Reid Wilkins show with Jay Milne today. Before we get to Lieutenant Eric, I want to talk about the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. The 3 clues so far are football, Cairo, and Montreal. Nick Araki, how do you spell it?
let me get here.
Is it Arakgi or something like that?
Arakgi.
Okay. He played for the Alouettes in the 80s. He fits the bill because apparently he was born in Cairo, Egypt. He's not he's not the correct answer. Clue number 4 is MVP. Football, Cairo, Montreal, and MVP. So MVP is the 4th clue. 780-218-9999. 3 guesses maximum. So the 5th guess, well, hopefully somebody gets it now. The 5th guess, I think somebody will get it, or the 5th clue. If not, I guess we'll have to keep going. It is time right now for Fired Up. And while I'm reading this, Zach, why don't we show the video of this person and some of his like-minded individuals being fired up from Saturday. For Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. My goodness, that was him in the shot from, It's not Taylor. I was going to call it Taylor Field. It's not Taylor Field. Lieutenant Eric is joining us on the stream. Hello, Lieutenant Eric.
Hello.
How's it going?
Great. How are you?
Is this the latest in the day you've ever been on the station?
Yes. Safe to say. I was on in the afternoon once, I think, for something. But no, it's great to be here. I love the show.
Well, thank you. I love your show, too, and it's nice to see you. Okay, so you're on TSN during the game. How long did it take for you to get multiple texts of people telling you, you're on TV?
It's not the first time it happened, and I hope it's not going to be the last. My buddy's got seasons, and we kind of sit down in the pocket corner. And it used to be the old college zone at Taylor Field, so that whole section 27, 28 was all standing. But they've since done away with that because it was a legal hazard, and they've shipped everybody to that pill zone, which is a pretty cushiony place. My buddy elected not to go over there and join in that garb. So he's continuing to do his thing. He will go down to his regular seat that he's always had, and he continues to stand. It wasn't too popular early on in the early days of Mosaic, but a few of the other people from the college zone have found their way there. King Arthur, he got cut off in the second quarter. A lot of the people have had like kids and grown up since, but there's still like a now 2-3 rows of people who just refuse to sit down. I didn't sit down the entire game. In fact, I think in that shot I was standing on a seat, to which I'm usually asked to get down, but I wasn't asked this game, which I'm glad. So it was a hell of a time. Best time in the new stadium by far.
You often, when you go on these trips into Saskatchewan, document the small towns and the places you go, the pubs you visit, the bohemians that you drink. What was the number one stop for you, and what did you eat there on this road trip?
I didn't do a lot of eating over the weekend, but I did a lot of drinking. And I went to, it started Friday night. I went down to see my folks in Saskatoon, and I always lie. I say I leave town like an hour or two after I've already left so I can spend time at my local before I go see them, right? Because you need to kind of get, loosen the gears a bit. So I went to my local place. It's a Smitty's Lounge in the mall at Lawson Heights, North End, Saskatoon.
I know that mall.
A great mall. I did actually walk 2 laps around it. Didn't see a soul. It was awesome. Just to stretch the legs. Had 3 bohemians there in the bottle, which is a nice change too. Delicious. Then went home. Went out and met Shane Clausing, an old Nate grad and an employee from the old place. He now calls Huskies volleyball games and works for CKOM down there. So him and I went to Crackers Karaoke Lounge. It was so packed we had to sit at the bar. And, and then I drank more there. And then I went home. And then my buddy who has the season tickets, I had to drive him down. He works for CBC Radio there. So he was up visiting his folks for the weekend and doing his shows from there. So I drove him down early Saturday morning. And as per tradition, whether you're in a coach bus or just on your own, you stop in Aylesbury, Saskatchewan. It's about halfway down. And usually now they have spot checks in and around Chamberlain, which is just like 10 minutes outside Aylesbury. So, you're playing it cool. I had a Bud Zero in Aylesbury. But when you go on those coach buses, I mean, you go in there, their choice of drink is called Elephant Cum. It's an elephant-themed bar. And there's elephants everywhere. You bring in a little elephant statue. I don't know why. It's just a random thing. But, Elephant Cum. And the guy that owns it, he's like this crazy old guy. And he'll go buy the cum ingredients from my mother-in-law, who works at the Co-op liquor bar in Davidson. And he'll come in there and he'll say, I need the stuff for my cum, my elephant cum. And she'll be like, Lyle, you're crazy, man. So we stopped in Aylesbury, which was great. I saw a few friends there. You sign a flag. They always have a flag to sign on game days. And they've documented pictures throughout like the last decade. So you're always like looking around to see old pictures of buddies. So I stopped there. My buddy had a real beer. I had a fake one. And then we got back on the road, and there was no spot check in Chamberlain, which usually adds like a half hour to like 45 minutes to an hour wait because you're queuing up for 1 hour CMP cop to check everybody on the highway. So breezed through there. I was doing like 150, got to Regina in record time, and then we watched a little Rams game. To answer your question, stopped in a few bars. After the game too, we went to I don't know if you've ever been to O'Hanlon's downtown Regina. I love that place. But yeah, and then house partying and stuff, and that type of thing. At the stadium too, they sell like not just tall boys, but like the King cans. You get like Foster's. Yeah. So they sell those now, which is a bit of a mistake, and that's how King Arthur got cut off in the second quarter. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
all right. That's a reference to an elephant I never thought there would be on this show. So thanks for breaking new ground there, Eric.
Yeah.
All right. So the game itself. Thank you for detailing the consumption so eloquently. The game itself. What was it like in the crowd? Was it tense? Was it joyous? Was it confident? Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned those words because I think we went through the whole gamut. It's usually being a Rough Rider supporter or follower. It's never over. It can even be not over until after it's over, in a sense. So you've learned throughout the years to just whatever, take it as it comes. It was a nice day, beautiful day for a football game. 10 degrees, sun was out. Once the sun went down, the wind picked up a bit, and she was going there. The crowd was on fire. As I said, like back at Taylor Field, you'd go to games, especially playoff games, and you would win games before kickoff because you'd either get in a couple players' heads during warm-up, you'd do your research and see, what their fiance's name is and all that stuff and really spin their head. My buddy Pete, who has these season tickets, he hates the Lions punter Flintoft. And apparently the last time the Lions were in for Thanksgiving, it was my buddy's girlfriend's birthday, the same birthday as Flintoft. And so he yelled him over. Flintoff came over there graciously. And then my buddy told him to F off and kind of, And so Flintoff didn't know what was up. He just thought it was like an adoring fan or whatever that case is. So volume 2, Flintoff's return. And my buddy goes, I did a little research. And he on his phone notes app, he had about like 2 pages of just Flintoff, like whether he's an organ donor or not, like what his blood type was. We knew this guy cased out. And it was funny because my throat was gone by before kickoff because we were just yelling at Flintoff during the warm-ups and everything. And he wouldn't come over. And I think it was that first either point after for the touchdown that they got. Laces out Flintoff, like he screwed up the hold. And then I think there was a couple other times where he just kind of miffed it a bit. But he gave us a wave early on, and it was right then I knew that his head was gone. Like he was totally snapped. And that just kind of cascaded through their team and lineup. Again, I haven't been to a game like this since Taylor Field. I haven't had a lot of wins at this new one. It's pretty pedestrian. People like to get their foot long. They like to sit down and shut up and enjoy things. But this was something else. And to answer too about, I think it was about 8 minutes left in the game. BC was down by 2 scores. It's still tight. It's still doable. But there's a pretty good confidence through that stadium that they just weren't going to do it, and it wasn't going to happen on that night. I knew that the wind was going to affect VA, and I think it did on a few of those picks. They kind of just the throws kind of let up, and it allowed the DBs to kind of cut back a bit. But it was all the emotions, man. I even had a dip. King Arthur, he was handing out Zines, the Zines. And I don't mess with the tobacco, but I was like, And so I put an upper decker in for the fourth quarter, and that really that fixed me up, got me through.
Wow. LTE, I just wanted to ask, how fast did did the trickle down effect happen to you where people were doing the Leonardo DiCaprio, on their phone, seeing you clearly, having the time of your life clearly on TV, and what was that like? Who was sending you all these pictures, and how did you take it? You're national superstar now.
Well, again, we used to be. It was a weekly occurrence that we were on. We'd make TV every week down at Taylor Field. I mean, the shirts were off, lots of consumption, and lots of just people get thrown in the air and everything. But it hasn't happened in a while. And again, I was on the standing on the seat, kind of getting the section going, or trying to at least. By the end, people kind of got into it. But I have to credit you, Jay, because you were the one that cut the original video that I was using there.
Was that the first one that you got?
You framed it perfectly, yeah. I looked at my phone. It's tough to look at the phone during the game because your hands are kind of full. And then so I was, but you're getting the best part is you're getting texts from people like Ryan Meyer's dad, Les. Like he was all over it. Like just real random people, not like friends, not like close people to you, but like randos really coming out of the woodwork. So now it was funny, and I think it was 2 times, right? The first time I was yelling bullshit for one of those calls. Yeah, and you can make that on the screen quite colorfully. So no, I'm glad, and my buddy too, like a few people that run cable and the cameras and do pictures for like the paper there and everything. Like he knows all them, so he knows where Pete sits all the time, and usually they get him in the most unflattering frames, and doing the dumbest things like taking a hit off the old Benjamin there. But no, it was good, and it was a good moment. Again, it's been a long time coming, and I look forward to it happening again sometime soon.
Well, Eric, I look forward to having you on this show again sometime because it's going over very well with the PM Nasties in the Nasty Chat, or as I sometimes call it, the Diabolical Dialogue. I know you've had a busy weekend, a lot of driving, and apparently a lot of consumption as well. So thank you for sharing your tale of the West semifinal. And look forward to having you back on the stream tomorrow morning on the Nielson show with whoever hosts it now.
Yeah.
And
Will Fraser, I think, will be alongside. Yeah. Can I have a few parting thoughts? I really enjoy you. I really, when I got the invite today, I thought, wow, it must be a slow news day. Get it? Because usually it's this self-deprecating thing. And then so what was I going to say? Oh, you can join me tonight at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for Monday Night Football, Chiefs and Buccaneers, loaded burger on special, and tall boys of the 6 o'clocker lager. And I wanted to point out too, and I thank you for having me. I'll come back anytime. Jay, I have to text you after the program. I have a question to ask you. I got pulled over the weekend. On the way home, I got pulled over by the Battle Creek RCMP.
No, they're the worst.
Yeah, no, but the guy was okay. I did a breathalyzer. Eh?
Oh, yeah? First
First time ever. But I have to ask you a question pertaining to that. And also, John Hughes, you're talking John Hughes, eh? Uncle Buck, Home Alone 2, and The Great Outdoors.
Okay. I'll note those. Okay.
If that's not already been said.
No, yeah, we're doing that a little bit later on. Okay, Eric, brilliant stuff. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
That's our friend and colleague at Edmonton Sports Talk, Lieutenant Eric. I knew he was going to nail it, but he took it to 11. That was outstanding.
Yeah.
That was there was a football game in there, by the way.
Oh, so eloquently spoken about
stuff going on.
The shenanigans that were there on the way down. It was a very descriptive conversation.
Yeah,
but, I wouldn't expect any less.
There was one point that I thought it was a little too descriptive, but
which point was that?
Yeah,
Reid?
well, I'm not going to repeat it. That was great stuff from a very energetic, and he's a wonderful human being, lovable and love-giving, Lieutenant Eric. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube's if you love Eric. Help us get to 100 thumbs up before 5:30. All right. Do we want to do? What do we want to do? Do we want to do the final clue? Nobody has gotten it yet.
Well, let me just look back.
Double
here.
check. You would have noticed the Hudson's mystery athlete of the game. We do this every Oilers game day.
Somebody got it.
Somebody got it. All right. Should I say? We'll say who it was.
Wait till after.
We'll wait till after Ken Daneyko?
Yeah.
All right. I'll give the final clue then, and we'll see if more people can get it for fun. So you'll take note of who got it.
Yeah.
The clues are football, Cairo, Montreal, MVP, and then the final clue was Dodgers. So now just for fun, you can put it in the Nasty Chat or text it. But we do have a winner of the $20 GC or 25. I'm
Yeah.
shorting them $5.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that for myself. I'm skimming it for Hudson's Canada's Pub. Ken Daneyko covers the Devils for MSG. He's coming up next. We got a sports update for Sit and Sleep presented by the Coop.
The Oilers look for 3 in a row without their captain when they host the New Jersey Devils, and you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30 only on Edmonton Sports Talk. And there's just one other game around the league with the Predators and Kings duking it out in Nashville. The 49ers have opened a 21-day practice window for Christian McCaffrey as he returned to practice this morning for the first time since his injury in mid-September. And elsewhere, Dak Prescott suffered a hamstring injury yesterday in the loss to the Falcons and is expected to miss multiple weeks. Prescott is currently looking for a second opinion on the injury to confirm his treatment options. Thursday Night Football has the 7-0 Chiefs meeting up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for that one. Kickoff goes just after 6. Over in basketball, all 30 NBA teams are in action, with the Raptors visiting the Nuggets down in Denver. This sports update has been brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payments for 18 months interest-free. Sit and Sleep. Find them beside Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common, or check them out online at sitandsleep.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after these messages. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
780 is just another lame-ass, low-budget local shop. Homegrown right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 1,000 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Joining this afternoon. We're having a fun one here, and including getting you ready for the Oilers and the Devils at 6:30. Reminder, portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brew House. The NHL lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game ticks and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Been talking to this guy for several seasons. It's always a blast to have him on the program. Of course, a former New Jersey Devil, now a broadcaster with the team on MSG. It is Ken Daneyko checking in. Ken, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, fellas. How are you? I'm just finishing up my ice cream and ready to talk to you guys at the media meal.
All right, so how often would you eat ice cream before a game when you were a player?
Probably not too often, that's for sure. No, I didn't eat too many sweets before the game. But that's the luxury of being in the broadcast industry now and not having to worry about every little nook and cranny of my body and how I feel going into a game.
Yeah, fair enough.
I still get fired up the same way, just not. I don't have to be involved physically.
Well, I know you're an intense guy and you care about the Devils and you care about the NHL. That's why I've always liked talking to you. I kind of want to ask you something, though, because I know from being, watching the Oilers all my life and watching other teams, there are two types of Western Canadian road trips. There are the quick ones and the spaced out ones. Sometimes teams come through here and it's like Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, in whatever order. The Devils got it different this year, didn't they? They got a Wednesday and a Friday and a Monday. Can you kind of compare the two and maybe, like, as a player, would have you just preferred to get it over with quickly, or would you like the time off even though you're on the road?
Well, I think you play what's ever in front of you, obviously, but because there was spacing in between games and a couple of days between the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers, the team went to Banff, did a little bonding thing they got, or they had planned with this trip, went a couple days early. So we've been on the road for 8 days, only for 3 games. Yeah, that's kind of not the ideal situation usually. I know in the past the Devils have had success out west playing, 3 and 4 nights or whatever it may be, but I don't think players, realistically think too much about that. Each night you got to be ready to play, and you would think it would be an advantage getting a few days in between at times on a tough Western road swing. But this is their last one. They're 1-1, and we should be in for a good game tonight. I know the Devils know the importance of it.
Yeah, it should be fun. The Devils, they got a lot of skill. I think they got a lot of speed too, Ken, but I got to ask about the two Hugheses on this roster and just what they bring and what it's been like now seeing them play together for a little while.
Well, look, it's what you see is what you get for the most part. They're terrific skaters, and the way the game has evolved over the years, and we've talked about all the high-end skill and edge work and skating ability of so many great players throughout the league, and they're no different. They have all those attributes. Luke Hughes, just trying to round his game into shape as far as missing the start of the season for the first month, and that could take some time, and I think he's gingerly getting there. He's paired with a great guy for him in Brett Pesce, who is that old school stay-at-home defenseman that knows how to defend extremely well, and I think as they get to know each other and find that chemistry, it's going to be a real strong pairing for the Devils. But Jack, for him, if he's not producing every night, he's disappointed, and for him, he would say, I think he's on a point-a-game pace in the early going. That's not good enough in his estimation. But more importantly, he wants to win, and he knows that if they are going to be successful on a lot of nights, he's got to create offense. But I think lately he's done a ton of it. He hasn't been as fortunate as far as guys finishing off some plays he's made or finishing himself, where he had 2 breakaways against Calgary the other night in the 0-0 game, and he would have loved to finish one of them because it probably would have been the difference in the game. It was that type of game where the first goal was going to win. Sometimes when we see games, the scenario is dictated how both teams are playing kind of strong defensively, close to the vest, and that first goal was going to be a bounce to break, and unfortunately for New Jersey, the Devils got it, but they had a few chances, certainly in the second half of the game when it was 0-0, and Jack, he puts that pressure on himself. But they're great kids. I love watching them play. They're exciting. They can do a lot of things that other players can't, and they know the importance. For them to play well for this team to have success.
New coach Sheldon Keefe, obviously coached in Toronto for several years. What has he brought to the Devils?
I just think, I mean, so far in short order, look, it's still a work in progress, and he's mentioned it as well, that it wasn't going to happen overnight because they added some really good pieces to balance their team out a little bit, not just a speed and transition team. Now they've got bigger defensemen. They've got guys that can battle a little bit that you have to have, we know, during the season and certainly in the playoffs. And he's just trying to, come in and make sure he finds the right combinations in defense and the right lines. And he's got a pretty good 2 top lines and even a third line right now that he feels they just have to continue to find that consistency. He commands, you can tell when he speaks, he commands respect. And that's what I really have enjoyed just from afar watching him. He holds guys accountable. There's no question about it. And when he's disappointing, and I think that's an important element, you still have to do that in today's game. I was joking with some people, and we know during my era and everything evolves where coaches were tough on you, and that's how they got the best out of you, and that's how they got you to respond. Well, that's not always the case nowadays, and you have to be a little more careful how you communicate to players. But I think he's got that nice balance of stern and understanding and getting the most of the guys. And I've enjoyed watching him work. He's had success in Toronto. The Devils want to become a sustainable playoff team, over the next few years so that they become a contender. It doesn't just happen overnight. I know a lot of people were high on them this year and the expectations, but there's still a learning curve and experience of what it takes to win every night and what it takes to win games when you're not at your best. That's always so important to me that I want to, see this team take that step where you got 70% of your game. And I speak from experience in some of the good years and fortunate years I was with our Devils club. We just knew how to win games even when we're not at our best because that's the recognition of your core group in your dressing room. And Sheldon Keefe, I think, is going to be an important factor there. He's a good communicator.
3-time Stanley Cup champ and current Devils color analyst on MSG Plus, Ken Daneyko, joins us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Ken, you got Jay here. I just wanted to ask, what was it like to open the season with the global series out in Prague? Do you have any stories from that? And what was that experience like?
Well, first off, we didn't travel. Those are the only 2 road games we didn't go to that we're not going to be doing. Weren't going to be doing. We're doing every other road game this year. So we called both those games off of the monitor. But from what I hear and just watching, all the Devils intel and everything they produced with New Jersey, with Devils TV, the guys loved the experience. We went to Switzerland and Sweden a few years back where we played the Oilers in the first regular season game, and I was involved in that, did go, and it's just such a great atmosphere to be around and just see the excitement of hockey throughout the world and how the players, they just love them and they're so excited to have a national hockey game, and the players buy into that. And obviously it helps when the Devils won both games and got off to a good start. I think it would be a heck of a long trip and a little disappointing if you lost both of them so for the Devils, it was a good trip. It worked out well, but, and obviously the players from that area, from Czechoslovakia, from Prague, it's very special to them. I know the Palats and Tatars and those guys spoke glowingly about how excited they were to play in front of where they grew up and their home fans. It was a pretty special moment, I think, for a lot of those guys from the area.
Ken, great stuff. Thanks so much for fitting us in. I know it's a busy day and you're getting ready for your own broadcast. I hope the ice cream was delicious. I'll see you at the rink tonight.
Ice cream was good. I hope we have just as good of a hockey game, and may the best team win tonight.
Right on. Thank you, Ken. That is Ken Daneyko from MSG Plus, covers the Devils, as Jay was telling you, played for the good question about going to Europe, but we didn't realize he didn't go. We thought that he went.
Well, somehow he posted pictures from there, so it must have been from the New Jersey Devils account.
From the Devils account. But no, Ken's a great broadcaster and was a great, very rugged defenseman and an important part of their cup-winning teams and other teams that did very well in the postseason. So a little bit there on taking on the Devils. The Hughes brothers, the 2 of them that are there, they get a lot of attention. And it's interesting what he said about Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes is already at the point where if he's below a point a game, which he is, he feels like he's not doing well enough, With 12 points in 14 games. That he's a dangerous player. He sure is good. I've always liked I've always liked Bratt. He's good. Holla can skate. They got Dawson Mercer, another relatively younger guy who's a dangerous player. So they can push the pace. I think dealing with the Devils' speed will be the biggest challenge for the Oilers tonight.
100%. Yeah, I mean, it depends what team shows up here. It really, it's, since McDavid's injury, this has been a determined, hardworking team that, for the most part, has taken more of a defensive approach to the game. Be interesting to see how the first minute goes.
Can the Oilers score in the first minute and get the lead again? That would be nice. We are at 100 likes. That's great. I think Eric really helped us.
Yeah.
100 thumbs up on YouTube. I think Eric helped there. Ken Daneyko too. But thank you for checking out the show. Slightly abbreviated. We're going to go until 5:30, and then it'll be the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan. Let's announce the name of the mystery athlete of the game for Hudson's Canada's Pub. Who was the winner, first of all?
The winner was Brandon.
Brandon is the winner. So Brandon gets a $25 GC to Hudson's
His third
Canada's
guess
Pub.
yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he guessed Nick Araki as well.
Okay.
It's a couple guesses of Ahmed Hamdi.
I don't know who that is.
To be determined. And then Brandon with Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. I would say, this was an interesting one because I went down sort of a twisted, obscure path, which I think I'm going to have to do with these to keep people guessing. I mean, where would you put Jackie Robinson among most well-known athletes of the 20th century? Certainly in the top 10, if not the top 5. I mean, Muhammad Ali maybe would be number 1.
Yeah, he'd probably be top 5, Reid.
So you think Jackie would be in the top 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan.
Well, just think of, he played a role
Jesse Owens,
in the history of the trajectory of the game of
that's
baseball,
the thing.
Right?
So here's why football was a clue. He played football at UCLA. Cairo, Georgia is where Jackie Robinson was born, not Egypt. Montreal. Do you know why Montreal? Played AAA baseball for the Montreal Royals there. MVP, Jackie Robinson was the 1949 National League MVP, and Dodgers, obvious. That was his Major League Baseball team. So Jackie Robinson. So there you see it, everybody. The mystery athlete of the game. As your ability in making guesses grows and evolves, so will my abilities and tactics as the moderator or whatever it would be.
Wow, just incredible.
Because the first 4 or 5 somehow tied into that night's game, right?
Yeah.
And then Rod Tidwell did not tie in at all. And Jackie Robinson, I can't think of a way Jackie Robinson ties into Devils Oilers. I guess you could come up with a way if you wanted to, but anyway.
Maybe he lived in New Jersey at one point.
Maybe when he played in Brooklyn. I don't know if you'd live in New Jersey, you'd play in Brooklyn. All right, so Jackie Robinson is the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. Did you like that one?
That was awesome.
But Nick Araki was good. After the first 3, I could go that obscure someday. A 1980s Montreal. Would he have been an Alouette or a Concord?
Great question.
You remember them. Probably just barely.
I don't remember them, but I certainly
know of their existence. Yes, I remember that very well. 780-218-9999 is how you text the show. You can also jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. It's been off and running on its own today. Kind of takes care of itself. And yes, we are well over 100 thumbs up. So thanks for getting us to that.
He played for the Alouettes, the Concords, and Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Oh, nice. Okay. Perfect.
His son is Jason Araki.
Yeah, I thought there was a Iraqi currently or just
BC
recently
Lions.
in the league. Currently in the league or recently in the league?
I don't think he's in the league anymore. He retired. But he won a Grey Cup in 2011.
Okay.
CFL West All-Star in 2009. Played from 2008 to 2017, did Jason Araki.
All right. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Check him out online, jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. We're going to have my top 3. It'll be about Hughes, since there's a couple of Hugheses on the Devils. Not those Hugheses, though. We'll have a little bit of fun with this one. Lieutenant Eric was already ready for it. And still in the next half hour, our keyword for our flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. Back in a couple minutes. Thanks for tuning in to the show.
News and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
UFC lives at the Canadian Brew House with the most TVs, great food and drinks, and the perfect party atmosphere. There's no better way to experience UFC 309 on November 16th.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret, unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Lottery license number 698984.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for two, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta injury lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielson Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The McDavid-less Edmonton Oilers are back on the ice when they battle the Devils, and the other game tonight sees the Kings take on the Predators. Tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas just an hour before puck drop right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Over in football, the Dallas Cowboys will be without Dak Prescott for multiple weeks after he went down yesterday with a hamstring injury, and Christian McCaffrey has returned to practice with the 49ers opening up a 21-day practice window for the superstar, having him back on the field for the first time in about 6 weeks. And on the field tonight, Mahomes and the Chiefs take on the Buccaneers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge to catch that game, while the Raptors are also in action against the Denver Nuggets, with all 30 NBA teams playing tonight. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
so it's really clear. Like, cut the air. Cut the air with your hand. Yeah, I like that better. Thank you, Zach. You're doing a great job. You had a good time at the UFC Fight Night?
I did. It was fantastic. Better than any hockey game ever.
Did you get to sit by Tony Gazzola?
No, I didn't have the pleasure of being seated beside him. I bought tickets before, so I went with
You know
my
what
buddies.
they called him down there? Big Tone.
Big Tony Gazzola. All right. Fun show, everybody. Thanks for checking it out. We will give the stream over to Hernan and Tom for the Oil Stream pregame show. Yes, Pickard and Net, they're asking in the nasty chat, maybe another lineup change as well, but we'll see at the rink tonight. Just an optional morning skate. Tom Gazzola was there, saw Connor McDavid skate, post a little bit of video, so McDavid seems to be progressing quite quickly as he recovers from his ankle injury. Yes, Les in the nasty chat, you need a live on-the-air light. Well, but see, that would be for when we're back from commercial, but not for when Zach has my mic live. But we should get a little on-air light along with our pull-down map of Alberta and poster
the
of Joe
TV
Elliott
for Reid.
and the TV. Oh, yeah, I still don't have a TV in here.
That's right.
That's pretty harsh.
It's travesty.
Okay, we'll have some fun with this one, as we often do. My top 3 for food sausages, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in-store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or just mention Edmonton Sports Talk in-store. Did you think of a skit today?
No.
Okay, we'll just keep moving along today. Free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. Oh, I was going to do a limerick, and I didn't. That'll be my goof up. Oh, well. I was going to make the limericks daily, but now I think sporadically.
Leave it as a tease.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll do a couple limericks, sometimes I won't. And we have had listener-submitted limericks, which is pretty fun. So in honor of the Hughes brothers being here, not Quinn, the other two, Jack and Luke, for the New Jersey Devils, I have my top 3 John Hughes movies, and I'm going to pick ones that he both wrote and directed. Lieutenant Eric already gave us 3. I don't even know how he knew we were doing that. But he only listed ones that John Hughes wrote: The Great Outdoors, Home Alone 2, and Uncle Buck. Oh, he directed Uncle Buck. He wrote and directed Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck is not on my list. So I got my top 3
really
John Hughes movies. So these are the movies he wrote and directed: 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck, and Curly Sue. He wrote a whole bunch more. I got to have Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That is an absolute classic. I would say that's his greatest, most well-known, most well-quoted movie. Don't we have one of our automated sound bites from that?
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Just the whole premise of the movie, a kid trying to get out of going to school, and then all the shenanigans that he gets in. You got a young Matthew Broderick. And wasn't that the movie Bueller?
Yeah.
What was his name? Hank Stein? What was his name?
The redheaded principal?
No, the other guy.
He was the concierge?
It wasn't Gil Stein. He was the commissioner of the NHL for a while. Anyway, great movie. Goob, have you seen that movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Classic.
You have seen it.
Classic.
Even though it was made like 35 years before you were born.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, but that's
You
that's
have
one
seen
of them.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off from 1986.
That's Ben Stein.
Yeah.
Ben Stein. Win Ben Stein's money. Remember that trivia
was a great show.
Yeah, Ben Stein. I don't know why I said, well, Gil Stein was the president of the NHL, I think, before they started. Yes, that was him. And Cube, you were born in 08?
08. That would make me 15 years old.
No, you're older than
or
that. When
16.
were you born?
03 when the Devils won the Stanley
So you
Cup.
watched this movie that was like 27 years old when you were born. That's amazing. Good for you. I congratulate you and commend you.
See,
Eyes glued to the screen.
What? You don't like it?
No, I do, but I think you're eliminating a lot of films off here because he didn't write and direct them.
Yes, I am.
Well, fine.
Such as Vacation.
Yeah, like That's
okay. We can do a secondary list as well.
There's so many good ones.
But I still think Planes, Trains, and Automobiles would be number one on this list.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's better than Home Alone. I think it's better than Uncle Buck. What else are classics on here? Some of his later ones maybe weren't as good. Yeah,
Great Outdoors.
That was on Eric's list.
Yeah.
I don't think The Great Outdoors is in the stratosphere of.
I mean, Home
Ferris
Alone,
Bueller's Days Off.
Both Home Alones, Beethoven.
Beethoven's with the dog?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever saw Beethoven, to be honest with you.
You didn't miss much.
I saw the first Home Alone. I think Home Alone, I was at the point where by the time I saw it, there was so much hype around it, it could never live up to it.
Sure.
Which sometimes is a problem, but it is a good movie.
He did 101 Dalmatians.
But see, Eric put Home Alone 2 on his list, which he didn't direct, he wrote.
Yeah.
Is Home Alone 2 better than Home Alone?
No, he said that, I think. That was an Ericism. There's no way you could argue that Home Alone 2 is better than 1.
Well, Eric would, apparently.
He could, and maybe we should.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is on my list. I think great chemistry between the two actors. A sentimental story in the end, and still one of the greatest lines in cinema history. Where's your other hand? Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows. And the classic scene, as I've said on the show, I've seen a lot of movies, as I'm sure many people have, but I'm at the point where I don't remember them all anymore.
Sure.
I might remember whether or not I liked it, but sometimes I can't remember anything specific about the movie. But the between two pillows scene, I remember, and then the scene where they're going down the wrong way on the highway, and they're making fun of the people who are trying to warn them that they're going the wrong way because they think everybody else is, and then they go right between the two semis.
That's it. It's a good movie. It's just top to bottom. It's funny, and it's old enough, so there's things that happen in the movie that wouldn't happen now. You know, like even the thought of a traveling salesman.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Right? Like, it just doesn't happen now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And these two schmucks have to coexist.
Yeah. Now they would just book all their trip on an app on the phone, and they'd be home and no problem. And then I'm going to put The Breakfast Club on there. And now, again, I'm just picking out the ones he wrote and directed, John Hughes. But this has been a long time since I've seen it, so I don't really remember it. But I remember obviously seeing it when I was 11 or 12 and thinking it was a good movie, and I think it stood up. Was it Don't You Forget About Me still stands up as a song from that, so I have to put Breakfast Club on there.
Well, that was, I think, ahead of its time, right? The Breakfast Club? But
in terms of like a teen movie sort of thing?
Well, a teen movie, but it also was taking a little bit of a satirical approach to maybe not everybody's so different. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean, yeah.
You get locked in a school together for the week. You know, you have to find that you find out that you're all pretty similar and your preconceived notions
We're all just
of somebody.
kids, man.
Yeah.
Just trying to make our way.
But Uncle Buck and like the National Lampoon saga, I mean, that's, to me, Christmas Vacation, though, you got to understand, is one of my all-time favorite movies.
See, it's
not
been a
just
long
Christmas
time.
Movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen The Vacations. From my memory, I would still think the first one is the best one, but I've forgotten
like just
a lot
the
in those
Vacation?
films.
Because there's that's The Vacation.
He wasn't. Oh yeah, he wrote that one. That was like one of the first ones he wrote.
Yeah. And then there's Vegas, there's Christmas, and then there's European. Right?
I think it's European, Christmas, and then Vegas. I think Vegas is the fourth one because he didn't have any. John Hughes didn't have anything to do with Vegas Vacation. I thought that was the fourth one.
Oh, okay. I'm not chronologically. I'm not sure exactly.
Okay,
but
you
I'm
were
just
ranking
saying
them.
My favorite would
Christmas
be the
is your favorite.
Yeah.
Mr. Bleach in the nasty chat says, "I'm a traveling salesman." What the hell, guys? Sorry, Mr. Bleach. You're an important part of our society.
I guess obviously there is traveling salesmen, but not selling, encyclopedias.
Was that the John Candy character?
No, but
Or is
that was like a kitschy kind of traveling salesman in those days where you'd bring the dinnerware set and you'd fill out this form and you'd get a free, free ice cream scoop with your purchase.
Right.
Right.
Supposed to now you got to buy your own darn ice cream scoops. Kid Daneyko was having ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be my top three for Food Sausage, John Hughes movies that he both wrote and directed, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Breakfast Club, Lieutenant Eric, including all his films, even ones he only wrote, Uncle Buck, Home Alone 2, and The Great Outdoors. You know what a scene I remember about The Great Outdoors? The bear-bummed bear. That's the only scene I remember.
Where he blows his ass off.
They shot the fur off the bear's bum. Who else was in that? Was Aykroyd in that?
Yeah. Because wasn't he the rich guy? Well, and you can't forget, what was it, the old 56er or 65er or whatever.
Was that where they had to eat the steak?
Big steak
that they, okay,
at
right.
the steakhouse? That's such a good movie.
That's amazing. All right. That was fun. There's a little bit of a distraction here as we're slowly counting you down to the Oilers and the Devils. Portions of this hour, of course, presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. Book your holiday party at the CBH today, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. We better do the airplane now because we're short on time here. It's time for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780, a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand. What?
There is a statue of Jackie Robinson in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Oh, it all ties together. 780, the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com. So that's the word 7 and then the numbers 8 and 0, or at any of their 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to give a keyword that you will have to text into 780-218-9999, and then someone will qualify for the trip to Los Angeles, a trip for 2 to L.A. from December 26th to the 30th. You get tickets to the Clippers and the Warriors, the Rams and the Cardinals, and an NHL game featuring Edmonton. We're qualifying people until the 28th, giving the trip away on November 29th on the Nielsen Show. The keyword is rodeo. The keyword is rodeo. Text that in, 780-218-9999. We got the Coob. We got a sports update. It's presented by Advantage Sports Medicine.
At home, the Edmonton Oilers face off against New Jersey Devils, and you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas in just about 15 minutes for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show only on Edmonton Sports Talk. The other game tonight has the Predators and the Kings going at it down from Nashville. And in the NFL, Christian McCaffrey is back at practice for the 49ers, with the team opening up a 21-day practice period for his possible return. Dak Prescott for the Cowboys went down last night with a hamstring injury and is expected to be sidelined for multiple weeks. Prescott is currently waiting for a second opinion for treatment of his injury. And at 6:15, it's the Bucs looking to give the Chiefs their first loss of the season, and you can come down to the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge to catch the game with Lieutenant Eric. In basketball, the Raptors hit the court against the Nuggets with the entire league in action. And this sports update has been brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show before the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show comes after the break. I'm Zachary Kubich for your sports update.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the Association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
We are back on the Reid Wilkins Show, an abbreviated Reid Wilkins Show today, because we are about to kick it over to Hernan's house and Tony
Gazzola.
Or Tony Gazzola. If you have liked what you heard today on the Reid Wilkins Show, smash that thumbs up. We could set a personal best in the last 6 minutes of this show.
Really?
Good. Yeah. We're at 12 away.
Oh, nice.
So let's go for 20. Make it a nice round 20. Reid, what are your thoughts on tonight's game? What are you watching? What are you wanting to see? What do you want to see in order for the Oilers to win?
Good start again. They've done that. Quick puck movement, get the puck up the ice with quick and accurate passes to counteract the Devils' speed. And individually, obviously, you need a strong goaltending from Pickard, and I want to see Pud Colson play 3 consecutive good games. You got to be consistent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else? That seemed a little vague.
The Big Uke has a limerick to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tonight, the Oilers hit the ice with great flair, with hopes of many goals. Devils goalies, beware. With passion and might, they'll win if they fight. Viewed only on Prime, no bunny ears in the air. Bonus points for the bunny ears reference to the antenna. That's good stuff from the Big Uke.
Great stuff.
Who do we have?
Mop.
Mop is the qualifier today. Mop, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing very well. How do you feel about qualifying to win our trip?
Hey, excited.
Have you ever been to Los Angeles before?
I have.
And what'd you do?
Went to Disneyland.
Hey, our off-topic topic today, Mop, was have you ever been on TV or on the Jumbotron at a sporting event, and what did they catch you doing?
Hey, we were actually, my son and I were at the World Juniors in Calgary in 2012, and we had our NWT flag on, so we were on the Jumbotron with that.
What's NWT? Northwest Territories.
Northwest Territories.
Is that where you are right now?
Nope, but I'm heading there tomorrow morning.
Okay, all right, so are you in Edmonton now?
Yeah, Spruce Grove.
Spruce Grove, okay, awesome. Well, thanks for listening. The trip will be given away on November 29th on the Nielson show, so make sure you're listening that morning, okay?
You got her, sir.
Right on. That is MOP, our latest qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. I would say most, if not all, of our qualifiers have been to Los Angeles at some point. So usually it's Disneyland centered.
We just had to talk about this with my daughters. They're adamant that we have to go to Disneyland.
Have they been?
No.
Oh, so now they're saying, "Oh, everybody's been."
Yeah.
Papa J.
Yeah,
Do they call you Papa J?
Papa.
You must take us to Disneyland.
No, I don't know.
Learned, Peppy. It's pronounced learned.
I don't know. I'm not a big Disney guy. Sorry. Forgive me.
Yeah, so they should not go. Your kids should not like something that you don't like.
Well, it just wouldn't be a vacation, really, I don't think.
What would it be?
Like, does it sound like a vacation for you to go and stand in line somewhere in the hot sun and pay overpriced prices for food and drink? And
No.
Like
I
if
have
I'm
been
going,
to Disneyland as an adult with no kids present.
totally different, I'm sure. I'd rather go to a vacation where we go and to some podunk place where they're hosting the first round of the the NCAA tournament.
Oh yeah,
and watch games and then go take in.
I don't think those are in podunk places though. I think they're in large American cities.
They're not exactly mainstream places.
Not all. Okay, fair enough. Spokane,
sure.
Yeah,
there's always
everybody,
a Spokane.
Hear
Coeur
that,
d'Alene.
Spokane?
Yeah,
podunks.
you podunks.
You and your volcano. How close is Mount St. Helens to Spokane?
Now I guess
don't
that's
know.
a goof up.
Close enough they get ash on them.
Called the state. Oh, I know.
No, that's not a goof up. You just have an opinion. That's all. Have you been to the NCAA tournament?
No.
You'd like to
I'd
go,
love
though,
to go, though.
to an opening round.
Yeah, just take it in,
There's
or
4
even
games
the
in a row
Final
or whatever.
Four or something like that. Like go to a vacation around a sporting event is more my speed, and my wife.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And my
that.
wife's, to be quite honest.
Right.
Yep.
Well, you could go to L.A. and take the kids to Disneyland as part of the sporting
LA just,
stuff.
I get it, but it's just not. I don't know. It doesn't yell to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I got to go to LA."
Okay. You could go to Gainford. Go to a hotel. You know
Yeah,
where
sure.
Gainford is? It's on the way to Evansburg. I probably have a photo of it in my photos back around town that I always show
One day
you.
we're gonna have
I
to have
wrote a
photos with Reid.
Reid slideshow.
Reid takes
of-
I don't know if you guys know this, but his photography is spectacular.
I got a bit of a visual eye. It's supposed to a non-visual eye. Okay, this was a good one, everybody. Thanks a lot for checking out the show. We have the Oilers and Devils playing at 6:30 at Rogers Place. Again, just to remind you, it is not on Sportsnet. It is on Prime Video. That's the app that Amazon owns, right?
Yeah, it says Prime.
Yeah, I always call it Amazon Prime. Do you not call it that? It's just
Well,
Prime.
I know. I think of it as Amazon as well.
Okay, but this is a streaming game, so it's on Prime Monday Night Hockey. So if you can't find it on your guide, that is why. And you may have a friend or family member text you tonight, I can't find the game. Then you can say, oh, Jay and Reid told me, and Tom earlier, it's on Amazon, or it's on Prime. So check your Prime subscription or get one if you want to watch the game. All right, Coop, great work. Big thanks to Zach Kubish, our studio producer and sports update deliverer this afternoon. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas are up next at 5:30, and then they're also on after the game with the Oil Stream. Jay, great work.
Thanks, Reid.
On behalf of the Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Enjoy the Oilers game tonight.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielson and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.